In this video, we dive into the tragic story of Hannah Witheridge and David Miller. Imagine traveling to a beautiful island paradise, expecting a peaceful getaway, only for everything to take a tragic turn. This is the true story of Hannah Witheridge and David Miller, two young travelers whose dream vacation ended in a shocking and heartbreaking crime. If you want more stories like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a case. Hannah Witheridge was a bright, adventurous young woman whose life was full of promise. At 23 years old, she had already built a story that many would admire, a woman from the small coastal village of Hemsby in England who carried a passion for learning and a spirit that could not be contained by borders. From an early age, Hannah loved traveling. She was the kind of person who thrived on the thrill of discovering new places, meeting new people, and embracing the unknown. Backpacking had become more than a hobby. It was her way of seeing the world and, at the same time, discovering herself. She was also deeply committed to education. After completing her undergraduate degree at the University of East Anglia, where she studied education, Hannah was well on her way to fulfilling her dream. She wanted to be a teacher, but not just any teacher. She had a heart, especially for children who faced challenges. Those kids who were differently abled or who came from tough backgrounds held a special place in her heart. She imagined a career that would let her make a real difference in their lives. So she continued her academic journey by enrolling in graduate studies in speech and language therapy at the University of Essex, hoping this would give her even more tools to support children who struggled to communicate or learn in traditional ways. But life isn't just about work and study. Before diving fully into her career, Hannah decided to take a well-earned break. In August 2014, she packed her bags for a trip to Thailand, a country she had dreamed about visiting for years. Her destination was Koh Tao, a small island known for its natural beauty, a haven for backpackers, and a place that promised a break from the pressures of university life. With 3 close friends by her side, she looked forward to a peaceful, joyful vacation filled with exploration and relaxation. Koh Tao, often called Turtle Island, is nestled in the Gulf of Thailand. It is the smallest of 3 islands in the area, with just about 8 square miles of land and a population close to 8,000. Despite its size, it had a vibrant community and a reputation for being both beautiful and serene. The island was a patchwork of sandy beaches, lush forests, and colorful coral reefs. Visitors came for the chance to dive into turquoise waters, hike scenic trails, and unwind in a tropical paradise far removed from the bustle of city life. However, beneath the surface of this idyllic image was a more complex reality. Koh Tao's population included many Burmese immigrants who lived there illegally, seeking better work opportunities than those available back home in Myanmar. They paid bribes to local authorities to stay, blending into the island's daily life despite their unofficial status. Though there were occasional reports of petty crime linked to this underground population, the island had remained largely peaceful. Remarkably, it hadn't seen a violent crime in about 8 years, a rare feat for a tourist destination. People felt safe wandering its streets and beaches, trusting the calm atmosphere as a shield. This sense of safety was precisely why tourists like Hannah and her friends flocked to Koh Tao. They wanted to leave worries behind and lose themselves in the island's easygoing rhythm. On the evening of September 14, 2014, Hannah and her friends decided to experience the local nightlife. The chosen spot was AC Bar, a lively venue popular with tourists, known for its music, drinks, and welcoming crowd. On this Saturday night, the bar was buzzing with energy, packed with travelers from all corners of the globe. The group anticipated a night of fun, eating, drinking, dancing, and simply enjoying themselves after days spent exploring the island. It was at this bar that Hannah crossed paths with David Miller, a 24-year-old man from Jersey, the island nestled between England and France where David was born and raised. Like Hannah, David was taking a break from his routine. He had been working in Australia as an intern for a mining company, and was on his way back home when he stopped in Thailand for a brief holiday. Friends described David as intriguing and engaging, someone with stories to tell and a lively spirit. He and Hannah quickly found common ground that night, sharing laughs and enjoying each other's company as the evening stretched past midnight. CCTV footage captured their exit from AC Bar together around 1 a.m., walking side by side, separated from their respective groups. They looked happy and relaxed, unaware of the darkness that was about to fall over their trip. The trip would be the last time they were seen alive. In the early hours of the next morning, tragedy struck. The bodies of Hannah and David were discovered on Siri Beach, a short distance from where they had been staying. Both were found partially undressed and brutally beaten. One lay in the water, the other was on the sand about 20 meters away. Clothes were scattered nearby. The discovery was made by a beach cleaner during his morning walk, a routine that suddenly turned horrifying. The quiet beauty of Siri Beach that morning contrasted sharply with the violence that had unfolded there. Residents rushed to secure the scene, pulling David's body from the water before the tide could take it away. The local police arrived late, not until around 11 a.m., and began their initial investigation hours after the bodies had been found. Their first observations revealed disturbing signs: cigarette butts near Hannah's body, a used birth control pill, and, perhaps most alarmingly, the potential murder weapons. A hoe and a wooden stick, smeared with blood, were recovered near the scene. These items were carefully collected for forensic testing. The identities of the victims soon became clear: David Miller and Hannah Witheridge, two young travelers whose lives had been cut tragically short. Autopsies revealed the full horror of their final moments. Both had suffered severe blunt force trauma to the head and face. David's lungs were filled with water, indicating that he had been drowned. Hannah had endured not only physical assault but also sexual violence. The brutality was heart-wrenching. DNA samples were taken from their bodies to assist in identifying the perpetrator or perpetrators. Despite the wealth of physical evidence and the relatively small population of Koh Tao, the investigation quickly ran into problems. The local police force was tiny. Only 6 officers handled emergencies on the island. They lacked the resources and experience to handle such a serious crime scene effectively. One of their earliest errors was failing to secure and cordon off the site. Tourists, locals, and journalists wandered freely through the area, contaminating evidence. Pictures of the victims were taken and shared online, causing distress to families and friends back home and disrespecting the dead. The police investigation seemed unfocused. Their attention was drawn disproportionately to foreigners and illegal immigrants. They arrested and questioned almost every non-local, assuming guilt by association. Hannah and David's friends were subjected to intense scrutiny, as were other tourists who had been on the island. The narrative spun by authorities hinted at a crime of passion, one centered on David's flatmate in the UK, who was rumored to have jealousy issues. Yet, this theory quickly unraveled due to a lack of evidence. Meanwhile, the police launched a mass DNA collection operation, swabbing nearly 200 residents of Koh Tao. Many of these individuals were Burmese immigrants living illegally. Reports emerged of abuse and mistreatment of suspects in custody. 2 Burmese men, Yo and Zor Lin, were arrested and accused of the murders. Both were denied proper legal counsel and translators, and their confessions were allegedly coerced through torture and intimidation. The police persisted despite discrepancies in the case, such as the mismatched DNA on the murder weapons and the dubious circumstances surrounding the confessions. The prosecution presented CCTV footage of 3 Burmese men on a motorbike that night, purchasing beer and cigarettes near the crime scene. The 2 suspects, Yo and Zor Lin, were accused of attacking the victims while they were alone at the beach. Yet significant doubts remained. A forensic scientist from Australia, Jane Topan, offered to review the DNA evidence. She concluded that the rush to judgment and the quick turnaround of DNA results were inconsistent with proper forensic standards. Nevertheless, her expert opinion was dismissed by Thai courts, who refused to allow her testimony, citing concerns about foreign interference in the Thai justice system. The trial was marred by irregularities. The defense was given little time to review the extensive police report and prepare their case. The court prohibited note-taking, limiting transparency. Witnesses were scarce, many too fearful to come forward due to threats and the climate of intimidation. Ultimately, on December 24, 2015, Wyo and Zor Lin were convicted and sentenced to death for the murders of Hannah Witheridge and David Miller. Subsequent DNA testing failed to link the men to the crime scene, but appeals were denied. In a surprising turn, their sentences were commuted to life imprisonment on the Thai king's birthday in 2020, a gesture of royal clemency. The convictions were met with international outrage and skepticism. Many believed that Wyo and Zor Lin were scapegoats, innocent men caught in a flawed system that sought to quickly resolve a high-profile case to protect Thailand's vital tourism industry. Koh Tao's reputation as a safe paradise was shattered, replaced by whispers of corruption, injustice, and ongoing violence. The mysterious deaths of other tourists continued to cast a shadow over the island. Behind the headlines, the human cost lingered. Families mourned not only the loss of Hannah and David, but also the devastating failures of justice. Hannah's mother endured the unimaginable pain of losing 2 children, as Hannah's older sister, pregnant at the time, tragically passed away in 2019. As the years passed, questions remained. Were the true killers ever caught? Did the police suppress evidence and sacrifice innocent lives to preserve an image? For the people who lived on and loved Koh Tao, these were painful doubts that echoed in every shadowed alley and silent shore. Hannah and David came to Koh Tao seeking adventure and peace. Instead, their story became a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath even the most beautiful surfaces. Their memories live on as a testament to the need for truth, justice, and the courage to confront uncomfortable realities, no matter how far from home they may be. If you're still here, thank you for watching. Stories like this deserve to be heard. Please subscribe, share, comment, and continue to support our channel. See you in the next video.